Keller, if you want to start us off, please.
Sure. Only one basket, I think, in the final 4.5 minutes. Kind of what was going wrong offensively down the stretch. And there was a stretch in the first half like that too. But what did you see in that final 4.5 minutes, Damon?
I thought we took some shots. I would have liked us to get a better one. I just think, it's growth. Guys got to grow as well. But as an offensive player, you got to know where your spots are, and you can't concede your spots on the court. You got to get to where you want to get. I'm not going to allow someone to, if they are playing that way, we make the play. But it's, the one thing that's not talked about, I think, enough, but I think it's a college thing as well, is that, as you move up levels, you gotta go create your own space sometime. And we're learning. And, that was, essentially, that was an issue, but it wasn't the game. For me, the game, I'm looking at 16 offensive rebounds. That's the game. For me, that's the game. Because I've been saying for a while now, we got to bleed into the little things. And the little things is rebounding. The little things that come with rebounding is boxing out. That's being an outer area rebounder. And when the game was on, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. And, today, credit.
Okay. I remember earlier in the season we talked about, when you're building a program, year one, the ball, for whatever reason, doesn't bounce your way. Was that the case tonight there at the end, or is that more of your guys, like you've been talking about, not going after it like maybe they should?
Nah, what I said was year one, the ball don't bounce your way when you don't honor the process of playing the game the right way. Every single play, every single practice. Because the ball don't lie, in the words of my former teammate. It does not lie, and so what happens is you can't one-hand rebound. You got to grab it with two. You can't dive on the floor, or you got to dive on the floor, somebody else dives on the floor, because if you don't, it's dangerous. You might get your ACL popped if you don't do it. You got to do the little things. And there's a standard that I think comes with, trying to create that, your first year when you're trying to, build a program, but it's not easy. And this is the first time this group has been together, and so you're trying to figure all that out on the run. And it's to me that's the most frustrating thing. I get disappointed at that, because I want so much for these kids, because I know what it looked like to win. I know what that looked like. I was lucky. I was lucky as a college player. I was lucky as a college assistant coach. I was lucky. I played on some really good teams. I coached some really good teams. And I know what that looks like when you're winning. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I thought one of the bright spots was Ibrahima, and he gave you some toughness and hit some shots, and it's starting to seem like he's getting more comfortable out there on both ends of the court. Just kind of what have you seen from him in terms of growth a little bit here?
He did a good job. I thought he did a good job of cutting. He didn't stay stationary. He was an active target out there, backdoor cutting, doing a lot of things, and I was happy and proud of him. I was. I think that the game is starting to slow down a little bit for him. And hopefully it continues, but I was happy for him today.
Miles, Miles. It seemed like they kind of went big on you a little bit on defense and denied the ball some, and kind of were cutting off your lanes. Was that sort of the struggle in the first half, where you just couldn't get clean looks offensively?
Those are defenders at the end of the day. They are the same defenders, so. I just try to let the game come to me, play within our offense, and just find something out of that.
Was there something in particular? You guys had an unusual amount of air balls tonight for you guys, usually pretty good about at least getting on the rim. Was there anything going on? Was it the shooting background, anything weird tonight, or just?
Nah, it was nothing going on. We were just missing shots.
Let me add to, what Miles is talking about, but I more so want to talk about Miles because, I think that with Miles Kelly, I think that Miles is a really good player that's being asked to try to do more. And so as you try to do more, your role, enhances. And I know that he's more than capable of doing that. And the things that he does don't always reflect in the score sheet. And so when I say that to say this, I've tried to teach him how to play the right way. And so with playing the right way, sometimes that might mean not forcing. He made some really good pocket passes. They didn't lead to assists, but they was the right play. Somebody else got the assist, and that led to Sacco getting dunks and different things. And, sometimes I think, like, we get enamored with scoring buckets and different things, and at the end of the day, man, you got to learn how to play the game. And I think that's neglected nowadays, and I think that he's done a really good job of buying into that. And I think that, whatever happens to him when he leaves Georgia Tech, he's going to be better for it. Because when he leaves here, my whole thing is he's going to have to know how to play with other players that are really good, because it won't always be like this for him. And so I think that that's what he's learning. He's processing. And I think it's everyday evolving for him. But the one thing that I will always say about Miles is he let me coach him hard. He lets me coach him hard. And he does a good job and does everything that's asked of him. So I haven't ever said that about him, but I just wanted to say that about him.
Anybody else?